Fuck Supreme Fall Winter 25. To say the least, the hype and the ferocity is in the air, bro. Already off rip, we got a Supreme number 9 collab, bro. This is going to hit the streets like crack in the 80s. This is going to hit these streets like crack in the 80s. Are you absolutely kidding me? Kids are already reselling the Cardi Photo T Wheat Paste posters and multiple Wu-Tang pieces in this collection. Wu-Tang Clan Gore-Tex. We're getting a Wu-Tang deck and an MJ deck. Besides the referential pieces and the collabs, like the pieces themselves are so sick. Like I love this jacket, even though it looks like something that I could go down to Duluth Trading Company and get right now. That's kind of why it's hard. You can really see them pulling from a very particular wheelhouse of Americana that blends like very low culture, like working class culture with skate culture. I don't know, most people would say, oh, they're doing a Susan G. Komen piece, like, and they'd turn their nose at that, but like I knew a woman with breast cancer. You have pieces like the boucle, like baseball jerseys, which have that luxury element in being boucle and Chanel-like, but still having that low culture supremeness in being a baseball jersey. Cardi Photo Tee and the Swarovski Mogo dropping at the same time is super sick. Gachapon machine is really cute. Love the BB studded work jacket, very Duluth Trading Company. Also, like the design lexicon that a lot of these pieces are pulling from evokes something within me where I look at this Exorcist piece and I'm like, bro, this with a heather gray hoodie underneath and some carpenter pants would be such a hard fit. We're getting Exorcist pieces specifically using the comic book artwork by Kazume Umetsu, but I love how aggressive and abrasive these pieces are. There's also just an intentional use of like applique throughout multiple pieces in the collection. Pieces themselves having that intention to detail coming with pins, buttons, etc. It's still abrasive and in your face, like these pieces with art by Miles Underwood, which to me feel like remind me of that trend from like the 2000s and 90s where like you had the comic book stick figures on t-shirts in like 3-panel comics. There's a very charming kitschness to this like collection. Like this reminds me of like old rabbit's fur like patchwork coat and more BB Simon stuff, but I love like how kitschy this feels. Probably some of my favorite pieces are these thermal crew necks, which reference the very coquettish like 70s pajama floral pattern, which is something like this. Transfers it through like a streetwear lens and a skatewear lens and makes it more masculine by throwing like the skeletal motif on top. Super Kismet moment, and probably one of my favorite pieces, is that we're getting multiple Realtree pieces from this collection. It's super sick because it's done in this very 90s like faux layering way. What's even crazier to me is that like I just did my like quarterly shopping guide and I actually kid you not, I could not find any photos of anybody pairing Realtree with like knitwear pieces. You can go read it if you want to read it. Legitimately, here's a slide from that, but I had this epiphany that like nobody really tries to wear Realtree in like an elegant or like classier or like dressing it up type way. Everybody tries to wear it in a super macho masculine type way. Aggressive, it's in your face, it's kitschy, and it's not trying to be cool, and I love it.